Hello everybody, how are you doing? So we're going to play a little bit more Crash Bandicoot today. So this is going to be part 2 of a series. It's going to complete Crash Bandicoot. We're not aiming to 100% the game, because that is a monumental task. On the basis that I haven't even done it myself yet. So we're going to play through most of the levels, get most of the collectibles, and if there's anything specific you want me to go find and upload, just let me know, and I will do my very best. So the next level is going to be upstream, which again, like I said in the last video, is going to be a little bit more of a challenge. So, wow. Okay, so first things first, let's grab that mask. And basically this is going to be more of a platforming level, so it's going to be a bonus. I'm going to watch out for these fish, because they do tend to stay in the air a little bit longer than you think. And you just have to... So in the last video I explained that you couldn't actually save in the game unless you got a bonus round. There actually was a password system for the game, but it goes back to the days of a note full of square, triangle, circle and X passwords. Now these plants, just very quickly, will snap shut on you if you are not quick, so you've got to get off them very quickly. And so yeah, I actually remember having journals full of passwords, and there was also the super password sheet that Crash Bandicoot had, and he used that, and it's done everything for you, and it was a super long password. Now, these purple ones, as you can see, they snap shut automatically, so you've got to sort of time your jump even more. Now, if you ever see like, sort of green moss on the floor, you can slide down it. So you've got to be pretty speedy up there. And as you probably saw, there's a jump path down there where we're going to probably miss a box or two. So let's go into the bonus. Really do love everything they've done with the new Crash Bandicoot, especially the music. I'm a big fan of game soundtracks, and the music in this game is fantastic. So again, this is pretty straightforward, but again, they do get a lot harder. Now, if you do die on these levels, you can actually go back and have another go, but when you've completed it, I believe it actually locks you off. So if you've missed a box on the bonus, you're going to have to restart the level. So if you've missed a box, it's worth another gem path here, and obviously missed a few boxes. So. But yeah, it locks you off completely, so you're gonna have to be really careful about completing bonuses. As I said, I believe there's extra animations as well if you want to load a box. There's a few extra animations as well, which is really cool. So we've got our first boss of the game. Every sort of area's got a boss, and this is the first one. So this one's pretty straightforward. This is some sort of shaman who's just trying to take a kip, as you can see. And effectively, you've just got to avoid him and jump on his head. I think it's 3 or 4 times. So you're going to slam his staff down, and you're going to smack him on the head. You just got to be careful, because he does change his attack pattern every now and again, but he's fairly straightforward. So it's 5 times you've got to hit him. So one more hit will do it. Smacks it down, and nice and easy. And a very cool animation from Crash. So again, that look probably quite simple, but again, if you don't know what you're expecting, there's going to be a bit of a challenge there. Now, if you come down here, this is something again that was new for the Insanity Edition, which is Coco's Time Machine. If you go into that, you can actually load Coco, so you can play as Crash's little sister, which is really cool. However, because I quite like the nostalgia of it, so we're going to go into Rolling Stones, which is our next level. So to complete this sort of on this video. So forward we go. As you can probably tell, this level looks very similar to Jungle Rollers, which it is very similar, just like a harder version. So the stones sort of cross over each other now. So, you probably saw while I was on that invincibility run that I picked up a different type of mask. That is Embryo, or Embryo, depending on how you want to say it. His bonus rounds are actually... And his level, I think you have to get them over a number of levels. Third is just the nitro ones, which the chapter at the start. And his ones are definitely over a couple of levels. And again, yeah, nothing overly but jumps. Again, the first levels aren't too bad. Now be careful with that plant because you want to spin it on the right so it goes to the left, because otherwise you don't want to. Obviously, to destroy that box, I wouldn't have been able to get to that. There. Another ability, so we're doing really well with these. It's good. It's good we're going as the bonus, but that's absolutely fine. We don't want to make it too easy. Now this is where the bonuses can start to get a little tougher. So it's very similar to the first level, you've just got to sort of time your jumps. And there you go. Nice and straightforward. Cool. And that's the level we go. Again, just totally jumps. There's another jump path there, which again we can't get to right now. So there is actually an level, but I'm not sure where the third one is, so we're going to have to miss that for the time being, and we'll come back to that another time. And you'll notice that some of those round platforms that were on before, they actually move when you land on them, so they will actually drop after a few seconds, so you got to be quick. And obviously we've missed a ton of boxes, so we're going to see what happens to. Oh my. Oh dear. Oh, poor Crash. You probably notice that a little longer now. And this one is, again, one of my favourites. This was very slightly different as well. There's a couple of levels like this in the game. Hog Wild sees you riding a hog, and you have to control it as best you can. Now, getting all the gems in this level is a bit of a pig, pun intended. Because he doesn't move as fast as Crash usually does. So you have to avoid these guys, you can't jump over them. And these drums, you have to jump on those, over the hole. And that's what happens on a relatively regular basis. Because I am absolutely rubbish at reaction tests. And away we go. If you don't hold X on those drums, they don't actually take you far enough, so you've got to... I really need to get better at reaction tests. X. So, 1, 2, there we go. Chip, wonderful. Left, and that's wow. over his friend there, and through we go, get the gem, and into the portal. You notice in the last video, some of these, well, all these levels, to get the gem you had to get in one life, so you can imagine what that was like, trying to get that in one life. It was, yeah, it was interesting. So, final level of this video is going to be Native Fortress, and this is very similar to the Great Gate. It's a side-scroller, it's a pretty long level, and it's pretty tough. This is where I think in my first playthrough of the original game, I started to get a little bit more stuck, because this can be quite tough. So basically it's all about using everything you learned from the first one, so using the turtles as trampolines where appropriate, and just basically taking each platform as it comes. Now, those plants are usually doubled up, so it's best to be careful when you're sort of running through and spinning. So, I'm going to grab this box first. That's the first token. And basically you have to spin this platform. I don't think you saw it in the first one. And then you have to sort of spin this one. Jump in, spin, jump out, jump in, and up. And up we go. Checkpoint. Now these things, I think you saw me do it in the first video, you can actually jump on those, but you have to be quick because those flames will obviously hurt. Get rid of you, and these traps are interesting because they will barge you off that platform, which obviously is annoying, but if you jump on their heads, you can actually get the shield above them. You can't actually bash them with your spin until the shield is out of the way, so sometimes it's just jump over them. So you can see you get like a bit of a warning shot from the fire, and then you get a full-on stream. The warning shot won't actually hurt you, but it's probably best to just avoid it. There we go. Watch out for the spikes again, green moss. Okay, just jump up and you can get all those. And looks like that's going to be our bonus. Now, I seem to remember this bonus was the one that decided to really ramp it up, but I could be wrong. So there's one. So on this one you can see the boxes, so this one's fairly straightforward. I promise they do get a lot harder. So, we've got another one of these sort of climbing towers, so we're just going to work our way up. And again, don't get very long, get about 5 or so seconds before they start flipping back around. So the mask up there, but I'm not going to bother with it on the basis that I don't really want to do that again. So checkpoint, it starts to hit us up a little bit. Now, for people that want to skip a fairly huge portion of the level and get some free one fruit, you can go into the background here. This is one of the secrets from the original game that was brought forward, and you actually come forward here. However, I know I will be absolutely raged in the comments. There we go. So as you can see, some of these jumps are now requiring the use of these sort of flamethrowers, so you've got to be really quite quick. That was unnecessary risk, but off we go. Now again, with the monkeys, you can't actually kill them while they're rolling, so you need to be getting them when they're still. You can already see there's a lot more going on in these levels. The lives there, lovely. So it's starting to get a little tougher. Cool. So 1, 2, 3, and chances are you will be hit by that last one, so it's worth having a mask ready. That's where a lot of people go lose a lot of lives. I think I ended up losing like sort of 15 lives or so there once. And you get a pretty generous bounty there. And again, if you're going for the gem, best to get these boxes here. And that's why this level's so frustrating, because you end up doing a massive drop like that and you have to do all this again. Now I know I've missed the gem on this one. I'm sorry, Crash. I know it hurts. There we go. You can take some pretty horrendous drops in this game, to be fair, and still be fine. You don't die from fall damage. And I'm a moron. I could have gotten away with that if it weren't for that pesky jump button. There we go. There's another one. And again, yeah, we're going to miss some boxes in the opening few levels of the game on the basis that a lot of them need that gem. So always makes me laugh how mortified Crash looks when the boxes just land on his head like that. So we're going to do another level. So we're going to do up the creek, and then we're going to do this next boss, and then we're going to call it a day, because we've had a fair few levels on this game. Still to go. So this is very similar to Up the Creek. Obviously, again, it is a lot tougher. With a lot more jumps. Just sort of haul it up there. So I think one thing. Is that first open? One thing I would say on this channel is we're going to be covering a lot of games. So a lot of it's going to be sort of games I want to play, games that you guys want to see. So again, if you've got a game in mind, just ask. I do tend to prefer games like this where it's just sort of more of a challenge and quite fair nostalgia trip for me as well. But I do play a lot of modern games too. So I'm currently working on sort of Dark Souls 2 and things like that. So if you ever want to see games like that, just ask. I'll see what I can do. So again, nothing too drastic here. I definitely think Native Fortress is a lot harder than this. He says, dying immediately after he says that. I will touch wood next time. One thing you also notice when you start getting to like, the second and third island, spoilers are in the third island as well. You will notice that's me being a moron and not thinking straight, so I will continue. So you will notice that the checkpoints get a lot more sort of few and far between. So I'm not going to get that just yet because I'm not 100% sure how to get back. Again, a lot of the gems and things like that we'll probably get through on a second run through. The game's not sort of terribly long. Some of the levels get really long near the end, but they're not like terribly long. Again, a lot of this is just timing. Oh no, this was the one I thought was on the last level, so this is where it starts getting a little bit tougher. Because you've got to sort of time yourself. So yeah, so you've got to really time what you're doing and when. Is all. So we'll have another go. It doesn't cost lives, as the hint earlier said, so we're going to have another go. And probably best. Yeah, so if you actually hold X when you're doing jumps like this, you actually go higher, so you get a little bit more time coming down. You can target him a lot better. And you can sort of just think about what you're doing as he's landing. I think a lot of Crash Bandicoot's difficulty comes from being able to think on the move. Because a lot of things, because it's a side scroller, you don't see a lot of things before they happen. Like that leap, for instance. We missed a ground to the 2 boxes. We know where those are, so we can always go back and get those later. Oh, I'm sorry, Crash. So sorry. So, we're going to meet Ripperoo, who is actually my #1 favourite character in, or villain character at least, in the entire Crash Bandicoot franchise. I think he's absolutely amazingly well designed. So basically this is a dog with a... well, you can see he's not all there, is he? So this can actually be quite tough. He's going to move in a set pattern. He's not going to attack you sort of directly. So he moves in this sort of triangle shape. And the idea is to land on a big TNT so it lands, it basically explodes next to him. Now, obviously in some squares you're going to be fairly safe. You just got to watch out for the water. So a lot of it's down to timing, a lot of it's also down to a bit of random chance. Obviously make sure you're not also stood next to the TNT when it goes off, because you'll have one very, very upset Crash. Damn. Come on, Ripper. This one should get him. There we go. So now he'll actually change his pattern. So you've got to sort of keep an eye on him. So I think, yeah, it's like an extended triangle this time. So he actually jumps to the middle this time. So you've got to sort of preempt what he does. So I mean, you've got to be really careful about your jumps. I don't know what it is, I've always liked staying on the right hand side, that's instant death. So I've always liked staying on the left hand side, sorry. I don't know why. Something I've always done. So his attack pattern will obviously reset now because he's back to full health. I don't know why I stayed there. Ah! No. That's me not thinking. I mean, I am thinking, it's just that I really, really like this boss, so... evidently I want to stay here forever. So set this one off straight away. I also think the theme for this that's playing, what they did with it was fantastic. It just sort of encapsulates the lunacy of Ripperoo. Let's try that again. Let's try this one. Cool, so that's his second hit. He's going to go change his pattern again, and I believe he changes to like a diamond shape. Yeah, he does, yeah. That's it, we got him. That animation was not in the original, and that is absolutely superb. Awesome. So that is easily one of my favourite boss fights in the entire game, and it's really early on. So we're going to actually call it a day there. We've seen a fair few of levels of Crash Bandicoot, and we've done 2 bosses. So we're going to call it a day. The next level is the Lost City, and this is where things really... I know I said this about in the Native Fortress, but this one really does ramp it up a lot. So I want to dedicate sort of a video to the rest of this island. So again, I hope you enjoyed the channel, and we'll see you in the next episode where we finish off the second of the Wumpa Islands. Thanks very much, have a lovely day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!